Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Adam Burke from BangTheBook.com, coming to look at some Friday night lights in college football in the ACC game 105-106. Duke takes on Virginia Tech. Over at BangTheBook.com, we've got thoughts on this game and all of the games for the Week 5 card, my college football power ratings, as well as some situational betting tips and an opening line report posted over there early on in the week. As we go throughout the week here, we'll get college football system picks, totals picks, and picks of the week from Alan Moody, college football best bets from Admir Algic. We'll have a lot of good stuff for the NFL as well, including Danny Vorgs' model projections for Week 4, his power ratings. Big adjustment in Week 4 now that we've got some data within his numbers. So he'll talk about what's different, what's changed, and also put out numbers here for Week 4. WNBA playoffs and NASCAR playoffs going on. Major League Baseball playoffs coming up. I'll be writing series previews for all of the Major League Baseball playoff series. We'll still be covering soccer, tennis, esports, UFC, golf, all the great stuff over at the website. And then right here on our Bang the Book YouTube channel, you can hear the segments from Bang the Book Radio every Monday through Friday. You can also find them on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Podbean, TuneIn, SoundCloud, wherever you listen to podcasts, you'll find Bang the Book Radio there. And also while you're here on our Bang the Book YouTube page, check out our free pick videos from our good buddy, Brian Blessing, who will have some NHL thoughts for us next week as the season gets underway on October 4th. All right, so we take a look here at game 105-106, Duke and Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, a 3-point favorite in this one, total of 51.5. This was a pretty big mover early in the week. Circa Sportsbook out in Las Vegas opened this line, Virginia Tech minus 6.5. An avalanche of Duke money came in. We saw the offshore markets open Virginia Tech minus as high as -4. That came down as well. Then a lot of other books opening 2.5 or 3, which is where we currently stand. Both of these teams with some extra prep time here, not having played since the previous Saturday. So both of them on equal footing for this Friday night game. I would think early on in the season that would probably help a team like Duke a little bit more. Very well coached with David Cutcliffe, as we know. Losing Daniel Jones to the draft last year gives Quentin Harris a little bit more time to get his feet under him, but he's played very well the last 2 games. Duke opening up against Alabama. Very few teams are going to look good against Alabama, but played much better against North Carolina A&T and also MTSU. I know North Carolina A&T is an FCS team, but they're a very solid football program. They've appeared in that Celebration Bowl a few times. Very good team for the FCS ranks. Duke having no problems in each of their last 2 games. Virginia Tech, they've had all kinds of problems in all 3 of their games here this year. They did outgain Boston College in Week 1, had some turnover issues, lost that game outright. Then struggled to put away Old Dominion and Furman. In fact, they trailed Furman in the second half of that game a couple of weeks ago. So it's been a struggle for Virginia Tech here so far, and it really does seem like they're regressing quite a bit here in, what is the 4th year, I believe, of Justin Fuente, and of course the last year here for defensive coordinator Bud Foster, who will retire after the season. Now, when you look at the quarterback battle in this game, I think this could really define what happens in this one. You got Ryan Willis for Virginia Tech, about 64.5, 64.6% completion rate, 7-4 touchdown interception ratio, though. He's taken 7 sacks on the season. Virginia Tech with 10 sacks of their own on defense. But they face a mobile quarterback here in Quentin Harris, who's completing over 72% of his passes on the year, 8-2 touchdown interception ratio, only sacked once, and he's Duke's leading rusher with 203 yards on 34 carries. So for Virginia Tech here, if that pass rush doesn't get there, and it probably won't against a mobile quarterback like Harris, you start looking at that secondary, and maybe it's just because of all the losses, in the heyday of the Bud Foster defense, but that secondary just not the same as it used to be there in Blacksburg. So could be a little bit of a tough spot here for Virginia Tech if that pass rush can't get there and if they can't contain Quentin Harris. And keep that in mind, too, that when you get a mobile dual-threat quarterback, you either have to spy or the ends have to contain or something like that. It can slow down the pass rush, and it can also put some more man coverage out there. So maybe we'll get to see what kind of passer Harris is in this game after doing a lot of running around the last couple of weeks. Once again here, look, this Virginia Tech team, how do they stop Quentin Harris, and how do they move the football enough to keep pace if Duke is able to score points? A lot of questions with this Va Tech team and this Vatek program in general. A lot of us thought that Fuente was a home run hire. Seems like the team has just regressed here on his watch. So Virginia Tech in their 3 games against Boston College, Old Dominion, and Furman, 12 trips into the red zone, 12 trips allowed into the red zone against a fairly weak schedule here so far. And, of course, we saw Boston College give up a bunch of yardage to Rutgers last week, lose at home to Kansas. So that loss in week 1 really doesn't look very good for the Hokies in this matchup. Now, my number here is Virginia Tech minus 3.5 from a pure power rating standpoint, but the expectation here is for a lower scoring game. Total of 51.5 has come down a little bit. That's what I like the most here in this game is the under 51.5. When you look at these two teams on the season, and again, Duke did play Alabama, but of their 6 games combined, they only have 9 plays of 30 or more yards. Not a lot of explosive offensive plays for either one of these teams here. I think both of these defenses can have success with some extra prep time. So like the under 51.5 the most. As far as a side play goes, like I said, my number is Virginia Tech minus 3.5, but I would have to look at the Duke side plus 3 if you find reasonable juice on it. I just think Duke is better equipped here. I think they're actually maybe on the rise a little bit, while Virginia Tech is kind of going downhill as a program. So lean to the Duke side, but the stronger play in this game, the under 51.5. I'm Adam Burke for BangTheBook.com.